So, point number one, when you stop self-pleasure, you finally discover your inner power as a man to be truly fearless. Let's just take a second and let's actually think about what fearless would mean. See, when men are constantly addicted, a slave to self-pleasure, pedestallation of S3 actual interaction now becomes the forefront of what your brain, what you as a man value. And because it's what you value, because that's the top of the prize, because that's all you do when it comes to female intimacy and what you potentially can get, you no longer can unlock the inner depths of what you can accomplish actually as a man. So what would being fearless actually look like? In order to do this, you have to visualize. Imagine just for a second, close your eyes, and imagine you are the type of man who can speak to any woman that you want, have the charisma to attract the type of companion that you want, and ultimately be the type of man that you know you should be on your purpose with masculine vision and intent to create impact in the world. What would that actually do for you? I want you to take a second and think about just how fulfilling that would be, right? Because of it, the only way to get there is by actually adapting the processes of becoming fearless. So when a man is finally no longer a slave to his pleasures, he now is able to transmute that S3 actual energy into other things that he knows he should have been doing throughout his entire life. So, when you start to see these benefits, you will actually tell yourself, because you truly at the inner depths of who you are, believe that you are powerful. Not just some sort of psychological affirmation, not just some sort of woo-woo self-help technique, like you fundamentally believe you are fearless and can accomplish whatever it is in life that you truly want to. And that is something that a masculine man has in the core of every single individual of who he is, yet he refuses to bring it out. The quickest way to transmute that energy and ultimately start bringing it out is to stop being reliant on self-pleasure and stop pedestalizing S3 actual intimacy as your number one form of male validation. Point number two, you start to see absolutely nothing in life as a failure and only a rite of passage to keep going. You see, as men, what you're going to see today, typical 99%ers, they give up at the first sight of resistance. They give up in everything. They give up in the type of woman that they think that they're entitled to when it comes to the dating market. They give up when it comes to the type of earning potential or business they should be entitled to. They give up at actually finding their purpose, building their purpose, and following their dreams. Because of that, they have become weak spiritually and weak emotionally. If you can harness that S3 actual energy to stop self-pleasuring, to transmute the energy into the rite of passage for the next phase of life that you have to be entering into. For some of you, that could be advanced level masculinity when it comes to MBT within dating. For others, that might be you actually on your purpose, unlocking new career and income goals. For some of you, that might be finally just understanding on some sort of small level, small building block, what building your purpose actually means. There's power in that. There's power in you as a man finally doing what you know you should have been doing throughout the entire time. The quickest way to become a slave to pleasure is by consistently self-pleasuring. And the second you finally admit to yourself that you are done self-pleasuring and you are finally going to use every setback, every heartbreak, every past failure, every past trauma as not a setback to stop, but a setback to take life by the damn balls and keep pressing forward, that is exactly when you will attract what it is in life that you deep down desire to attract. Point number three, and for a lot of you, this is going to be the most powerful. This point is for any of you who are constantly on a nightly basis relying on artificial women in order to fulfill your S3 actual fantasies. This is for any of you who have subscriptions to certain sites you should not be viewing. And this is for any of you who are completely loaded with fear and anxiety when speaking to the potential companion that you want, but never actually able to execute in real life. Point number three is women and dating finally no longer becomes your utmost priority. And guess what? Here's the coolest thing about that. When you finally release control, when your pleasures no longer control you, and women are no longer the forefront and the center at what you're living your life to accomplish when it comes to pleasure, here's the cool thing that happens. They all love it. And the reason why they love it is they sense a newfound drive and a newfound masculinity that only 1%ers have. Because when you do this, it brings me to point number four. When women are no longer at the forefront, you truly understand what it means to attract in life. Attract, not chase. Think about what the word attraction means. Attraction means that this thing, fundamentally as is like a magnet to what it actually wants. When you become a high value man on your purpose, you are now a magnet for attracting attractive women. You no longer have to chase, it no longer becomes a reliant on game. You fundamentally have became what the ideal is that they look at, and their heart speeds up quicker because they love it. They love what it is that you have became. When you understand the difference between attracting versus keeping, you will now, versus chasing, you finally sense and understand on some fundamental level what it means to transmute the energy that you are consistently releasing every single night into some sort of found drive and purpose that makes your masculine ambition as a man that much more attractive. And this is a superpower. You no longer have to work so hard when you are over here in the life of the 99%ers. You no longer have to work so hard at getting the dating life or anything that you desire. You attract it because of the skill and the value that you've actually created and you now possess. And the fifth thing is going to be respect for yourself and the value that you're actually building. Close your eyes one more time and imagine you building this purpose and how much value you not only sense in yourself, but how much respect and admiration others have of you. See, no matter who ever talks shit about you, just remember this: hate only comes from the bottom. And every time that somebody will disrespect you for living life a different way, every single time somebody will disagree with you for living life a certain way, they have an inner hate within them because they wish they could do it, but they know that they're weak. They know that deep down on some level, they do not have the grit and the sacrificial habits that you have to play the long game.